Hi, my name is Bridts. I work as an AWS trainer for the campus, so I give trainings about everything related to AWS, from architecting to developing system administrations, all those kind of things. Cloud is on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing, which means that we want to start using resources the same way that we use electricity. So instead of having a big battery or a generator, we're going to be using a power outlet where we can plug something in, have electricity available for us however much we want, use that, and when we stop using it, we stop paying for it, so we only get a bill at the end of the month exactly for the electricity that we used. With cloud, we want to do the same thing with IT resources. So if you want to use a server, instead of having a data center, we're going to request a server from a cloud provider, we can start using that, and then when we're done with it, we stop using it, and we also stop paying with it. So we have both that availability like electricity, and we also have that payment like electricity. AWS is the biggest cloud provider. They will provide the infrastructure so that we can use that model. So they will make sure that there are data centers, that there's networking, that everything that they're building there is secure, and we can request the things that we need and only focus on meeting our business goals. There are three big advantages within AWS that I want to talk about. The first one is very related to that electricity model, where we only pay for what we use. This means that it's also very easy to experiment with things. Because we don't pay for things that we don't use, we can try things out. If they don't work out, we can turn them back off. If they do work out for us, if there are the things that we need, we can invest more in that, start more of those, and keep using that. Which also very much ties into the second advantage, which is flexibility. And flexibility is not only that experimentation, it's also being able to scale up very much up and very much down. So we have the resources available for us, whether it's one server that we need, or 100 servers, or 1,000 servers. We can scale within that and then pay exactly for what we use. A third advantage is that they will also take care of security and compliance. So they will make sure that the security of the cloud is there. They will make sure that all the infrastructure, all the data centers and networking is secured. And then they will also take care of compliance. So there are a lot of compliance standards that they can implement. And because they are providing that as a service, that we as clients can take advantage of. There are a lot of AWS services available, so there's no way to list all of them, but I want to highlight some areas. So the first area I want to talk about is compute. And within AWS, we have a lot of different options to run our compute, from traditional virtual machines with EC2, the Elastic Compute Cloud, over running containers with the Elastic Container Service, or EKS, where we run Kubernetes, to more serverless things like using Lambda functions or step functions, where we only write the code that's going to be running inside of that service and don't have to think about containers or virtual machines. Secondly, we also probably need storage. For that, there's also a whole array of different services available. If we're using virtual machines, we're probably going to be looking at Elastic Block Store, which is very similar to using a hard disk or a solid-state drive that we can put in our servers. But we probably also want to use shared storage. So there are services like EFS, the Elastic File System, where we can share a file system between different virtual machines. But there's also more different kind of storage, more cloud-native storage like S3, which will give us object storage that we can talk to over HTTP, which you can use from whichever application that you want. So we can use that from a mobile application, we can use it from within a server, and it will give us very high availability, and with 11 nines of durability, also a very durable way and a very cost-effective way to store something. For places where we need more smart storage like a database, there's also a whole lot of options. We have traditional databases with RDS, the Relational Database Service, but we also have more purpose-built database services like DynamoDB for NoSQL databases, or different databases for GraphQL and things like that. Underneath all of that, there's a whole networking layer where AWS will provide us a virtual private network. This means that we get our own private piece of the cloud where we can configure our own network configuration, can choose our own IP addresses, and can choose how we integrate this with our existing network. So we can connect this with our own on-premise environment, we can provide VPN services for our clients, and can make sure that everything is connected exactly the way that you want to connect it. Like I said, there's a lot of more services available. AWS is active in a lot of different domains. This goes from machine learning and AI, over blockchain, over mobile app development, media services. So whatever you're building, there's probably a service that you can use. The main thing to remember is that it's impossible to know all of the services immediately. So it's very interesting to know how do I get started with something and which are the services I'm going to focus on first, which are the ones that are important for me. The best way I found to do that is looking at the FAQs of the services. Every service will have an FAQ page, and the first 1 to 3 questions will explain what is this service, how do I use this service, and what is it built for. So looking at only those top 3 questions, you can have a good idea of what it will do, whether it's relevant for you, and whether you want to look at it now, look at it later, or maybe never look at it at all.